Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom, there lived a king named Arthur. He was known for his honesty and fair rule. The people of his kingdom loved him dearly and respected him. One day, while he was walking in his palace gardens, he overheard a conversation between two of his ministers. They were discussing a plan to extort money from the kingdom's treasury. Arthur was shocked and saddened by this news. He couldn't believe that his own ministers were planning to betray him and the kingdom. The king knew that he had to take action. He called for a council meeting with all his ministers and confronted them about their plan. They were all taken aback by the king's honesty and courage to speak up. Arthur explained to them that he was aware of their plan and that he would not tolerate such behavior. The ministers were ashamed of themselves and begged for forgiveness. The king knew that they were only human and that everyone makes mistakes. He forgave them but warned them that he would not hesitate to take action if they ever betrayed the kingdom's trust again. From that day on, the king implemented stricter rules and regulations to prevent corruption in his kingdom. He also made sure that his ministers were held accountable for their actions. Arthur knew that his honesty and integrity were what made him a good leader. He made sure that his people knew that he would always be honest with them, no matter what. As time passed, the kingdom prospered under Arthur's fair rule. The people were happy and content, and they knew that they could always count on their king to do what was right for them. Arthur became known as the most honest king in all the lands, and his name was respected throughout the world. One day, a neighboring kingdom sent a messenger to Arthur, requesting his help. Their king had died, and there was no one to take his place. The messenger explained that the late king had always spoken highly of Arthur and had admired his honesty and fairness. He asked if Arthur would be willing to help their kingdom in its time of need. Arthur knew that he couldn't turn down a request for help, especially from a neighboring kingdom. He assembled his army and led them into battle. The neighboring kingdom was grateful for Arthur's help, and they offered to make him their king. Arthur declined their offer, stating that he already had a kingdom of his own to rule. He returned to his kingdom, where the people welcomed him back as a hero. Arthur had proved once again that he was a king who put his people first, even in times of war. In the end, Arthur passed away, but his legacy of honesty and fairness lived on. His people remembered him as the greatest king who had ever lived, and they continued to tell stories of his courage and integrity for generations to come.